Hello and welcome back to Azam Shah Weekly. I have my macOS Catalina installed and I'm diving into SwiftUI. Let's go ahead and learn a little bit about what exactly is binding. Now the idea of binding is that you will use some sort of a model, view model, MVVM, to populate your data which was supposed to be displayed on the view. And then using the binding features, you will display it on the view. And not only that, but whenever something changes on the view, let's say I select a different kind of a coffee, or I select small size or medium size or large size coffee, or if I'm selecting a coffee, then it automatically also updates the view model itself, which is great. But instead of doing all of that, let's start with a basic example. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create some sort of a first name, some sort of a variable. And I'm going to decorate that particular variable with state. Now state is a different concept, and state doesn't really have anything to do with binding itself. The state is basically saying that whatever I put into the first name, it's going to be available when the component over here or the view refreshes. Okay, and we actually won't be using this scene anyway. We will have to run the application to get it to work. Okay, now I need a text, and I need a text field, and I need text, and I need button. So I need three things. I'm just gonna wrap them in a vertical stack. The first thing I need to do is I want to display text. Your name will be displayed here. Okay, that's pretty much what I want right now. The next one I need is a text field. A text field basically allows me to obviously enter some information. Now this is where the binding comes into play. The value of the text field will be coming from binding. So I can't really say over here like first name. If I want to bind it, I want to say something like $ first name. That's the syntax for binding. What that means is that the value that is assigned over here to the first name is going to go and display in the text field, but whenever I type something in the text field, that value is going to go to the first name variable also. That's a two-way binding. Pretty cool. So we'll see that in a moment, but let's go ahead and add a placeholder also. And placeholder is text, and I can simply say enter name. Great. And let's go ahead and add some sort of a padding. And we'll add padding, which is, let's say 2 or 12. Okay. The final thing that we need to add is some sort of a button. So I'm going to add a button with action, and let's just say the button action is a private function that I'm going to call, which is called button press, which doesn't exist right now, but I'm gonna make sure that it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and implement this function. Right over here is fine. Private function this, and there we go. Now inside this button click function, I'm going to go ahead and print the value of first name. Okay. Now this is going to be really important. Whenever I type something over here, or whatever the value of first name is initially, will be given to the text field. And you can see the value initially is, well, nothing. So nothing will be given to text field. As you can see, there's nothing there. Whenever we type something in the text field, the value that we type in the text field, the text that we type in the text field, is going to go and update the first name. That's the two-way binding. All right. So let's go ahead and see if that is happening or not. And how will we know that the first name value has been updated? Well, when we click the button, we're simply going to print out the value. Unfortunately, it's not going to work over here. So we actually have to run the whole app in a simulator. So I do have a simulator over here, and we can try it out on the simulator when it runs. And once it is running, we can test it out. Okay, so we have this at the bottom. Let's go ahead and clear up the console. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and type something over here. I want to type a name, so I'm going to go ahead and type a name. Let's say John. Now I'm typing in the text field. When I press the press me button, it's going to display the value or print the value of the first name. If the binding is working, then this value should say John. and boom, it says John. This is great. This means that if I remove this value and type some other name and I press me again, it's updated. This is pretty cool. Let's see what else we can do with it. Currently, the text over here, the label, is saying your name will be displayed over here. It will be really nice if as soon as I'm writing in the text field, the name should just start appearing. Well, that's pretty easy because I can simply say first name. I know whenever I type in the text field, the first name variable automatically gets updated because it's a binding variable. And whenever it gets updated, well, it also fires this one. Now, how does all of this fires again and again is because of the state. Whenever you change the state, and we are changing on every single time, all of this is getting updated and rendered back again. So let's go ahead and run it again. All right, and now when I start typing in the text box, you should see a label also updating. So if I type in over here, you can see the label also updating with the value. And if I remove it, it's gone. The button still works correctly. You can see Mary, Mary, everywhere it is Mary. There we go. So that is how the binding works. And this is a two-dimensional or two-directional binding in SwiftUI. Hey, if you like this video and want to support my work, then maybe you should be interested in one of my Udemy courses. I have been developing a lot of courses on Udemy, and I'm actually working on a brand new course on SwiftUI, which will be available in the near future. But I do have a lot of different courses, including Node course, which is my brand new course, and complete guide to the new features in Swift 5. But apart from that, I have other courses also, which includes MVVM, blockchain, ARKit development, JSON parsing, and so on. So if you're interested and want to support my work, go ahead and check out my courses. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.